But Tehran had already stated that from now on, its reprisal attacks will be way harsher than before. If I'm not mistaken, the chief of staff of the Iranian armed forces said that the reprisal attacks will carry double weight, more than twice more than before. It's quite a long time everyone has come to realize that the Israelis are actually running this war and not Donald Trump. That this kind of attacks increase. Whenever there is some words about negotiations or ceasefire or anything, the Israelis go for infrastructure attacks. Thanks for having me. Well, this is an escalation. We expected it. Donald Trump is not a truthful person. He has never remained committed to his, undertakings. And we knew that he might come earlier, like today, to strike at Iranian infrastructures. So now there's going to be a harsher retaliation by Iran in multiple countries on petrochemical industries and power plants and alike. Maybe there could be some strikes on energy zones. I don't know. But Tehran had already stated that from now on, its reprisal attacks will be way harsher than before. If I'm not mistaken, the chief of staff of the Iranian armed forces said that the reprisal attacks will carry double weight, twice more than before, and the impacts that they will create. So there seems to be an escalation now going on, and maybe even it's quite a long time everyone has come to realize that the Israelis are actually running this war and not Donald Trump. That this kind of attacks increase. Whenever there is some words about negotiations or ceasefire or anything, the Israelis go for infrastructure attacks. It has already happened twice, at least, before today. But this doesn't mean that Donald Trump is the good cop here. No, of course not. They have a shared plan for going into water infrastructures in order to devastate, Iranian infrastructures. And they continue occupying Syria, supporting the Druze population, and pressuring Ahmadinejad more and more and more and more. And they ruined everything, all infrastructure in Syria. So they have a plan in order to, leave a scorched ground here and there, in all places in the region. That's the scheme, the shared scheme of the Americans, the United States president, and the Israeli premier. Well, it's quite clear that Europeans are one of those parties that are going to lose a lot each day that this war continues, especially in about a couple of weeks or 3 weeks maximum. The Europeans will be among those nations that will feel this pain very deeply, very profoundly in their economies. But the point here, this makes us understand why he is talking like that. But the Europeans are no actor here. This is a war between Iran and Israel and the United States. Europeans know that Americans have lost the upper hand, and Iran now has won the upper hand after shutting down the Strait of Hormuz. So the Europeans feel that they should not join this war, that this is like a Titanic hitting the iceberg and going down on the side of the Americans. And on the other hand, they don't know how to deal and do business with Iran, and they have not gotten rid of the U.S. hegemony over the European continent. They should, awaken themselves, find an independent way, forget about the NATO, as Donald Trump is not for it. He is going to detach from the NATO very soon, separate the United States from that alliance. They should think of themselves as an independent actor. Until then, they are going to lose any kind of influence that they have on the international scene, and they should just watch and see what's going on in this world without having real impact and influence on the trend of affairs.